Great, guys. I think I found where all the hot, sexy men are.
There is a very simple way to get a guy to make the first move.
Y'all want to know where to meet men with money? At the dog park, at the richest part of town.
When men don't approach women in public places like coffee shops, it forces...
When men don't approach women in public, it saves potential headaches that may come along.
Can guys go back to DMing women and being like, you're so pretty or you're so beautiful?
Men with provider mindset don't do coffee dates. When a man asks you out for a coffee, he's giving you bare minimum. He's essentially asking you to prove yourself to him.
After you spot the wealthy man, what the heck do you do after to get him to approach you?
Women want to be approached, but your wallet must be big enough to make a move not worth it.
Kindly subscribe to the channel, as it is our sole form of support. Thank you.
Great, guys. I think I found where all the hot, sexy men are. At least in Seattle. You won't believe it. Any guesses? Take a guess.
Can guys go back to DMing women and being like, you're so pretty or you're so beautiful? If they ever did that. Because I would much rather that than a guy being like, I want you. You look good AF. Like, thank you. I really appreciate that. But I'm a lady. I love oh, you're so pretty. You're so beautiful. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it just hits different. It just makes me blush just thinking about it.
So here's the thing, apparently, modern women aren't getting the same level of attention they used to. But the real kicker, when guys try sliding into DMs, it feels like they're just talking to a wall. Messages go unread, left undelivered, or just completely ignored. It's like this method of online flirting has totally backfired. What's crazy is, it's almost as if the whole excitement of online attention has hit this brick wall. Think about it, women have endless options nowadays. The flood of messages is so overwhelming, they start to see them like notifications just disposable. So even when a guy tries to genuinely engage, put in real effort, show real interest, it's like he's just another faceless name on a list of unopened DMs.
The biggest misconception men have about women. You think we don't want to be approached. When in reality, most women are dying for you to come up to them.
Stop lying.
If men rarely approach you in public, it is not because you're not pretty or they're not attracted to you. It's most likely because your energy is closed off. I used to have like the biggest resting bitch face when I was in public, and I'd always wonder like, why does nobody approach me? And then I realized if your body language is closed off and you just look like you don't want to talk to anyone, nobody's going to approach you because, again, people fear being rejected. So if you want to be constantly approached by the right men in public, start telling yourself the news story. You do this by shifting your self-concept and telling yourself, I'm so easy to talk to, I'm so welcoming, I always attract high-value individuals to come up and talk to me. I always tell my clients to try this, and literally after a few days of them just shifting their beliefs, they start being approached by so many people. Try it out because it works every single time.
Here are comments, it's so weird my DMs are like Sahara Desert. Nope, men don't approach women because they don't want to get mead or feel like they are harassing and accused of being creeps and toxic. Get you ladies it. Women that now to approach men. Doesn't matter, men are generally done with dating and relationships not worth it. I totally get it, some women make it so hard for men to approach them. You know, the ones walking around with that resting face, giving off a vibe like they'd rather be anywhere but there. And honestly, these are often the women with the most intense attitudes, right? It's like they're already giving off a don't mess with me energy, which can come across as nasty or just plain unapproachable. Now, let's talk about what this actually means for the dating scene. Men are starting to check out of the game. They've had enough of playing the guessing game when it comes to modern women. That attitude, it's a major red flag. It signals to men that she might be entitled, challenging, or even disrespectful, and let's be honest, that's not the vibe anyone's looking for. Instead of telling women to repeat affirmations about how great they are, maybe it's time for a little dose of reality. The truth is, if you want men to approach, maybe it's time to swallow your pride and make the first move.
Can someone tell me what MAGA men find attractive so that I can wear the complete opposite? Thanks.
To be honest with you, madam, I don't think you have anything to worry about. Those men are fine.
Do girls like to be approached in public?
By hot men, yeah. The rise of feminine men has led to masculine women. Let me explain. When men don't approach women in public places like coffee shops, it forces women to drop into one of two roles. The first role is she's just going to sit there and she's going to succumb to her singledom because she doesn't want to be the man and approach you if she thinks you may potentially be interested in her. The second role is her stepping into the role that the guy is usually supposed to. Her asking you out. And this is definitely happening more. I see more women asking out more men than ever before in my friend groups and clients, etc. But the thing is, men, that women don't want to ask you out because courtship and approaching are typically things that gentlemen do. And the worst thing that you can do as a guy is force a woman to act like a man.
Here are comments. Who wants to approach when we get rejected 98% of the time? They only want the tall, attractive guy to approach. When my 5 inches self-approaches, they look at me with the you face. Since when is not approaching women feminine? Maybe men just don't want to be bothered. Women created these feminine men. Now you get what you get. Equal rights have ended old-fashioned courtship. Have you not seen the shaming of men for just approaching men? Men have pulled way back the last few years. Let's be real, there's nothing feminine about a man choosing not to approach a woman at a coffee shop or in public. Maybe he just isn't interested. Or maybe he's learned that the effort isn't worth the potential rejection or attitude. The truth is, today's relationships have become so overrated and complicated that most men are just over it. They're not willing to put in the effort when the potential payoff feels so low. Think about it, so many men are tired of jumping through hoops to prove their worth to women who may not even meet them halfway. Throw in the risks, the expectations, and the inevitable power struggles, and it's no wonder men are opting out of the dating game. Instead, many are focusing on their own paths, prioritizing peace of mind, financial independence, and personal growth over relationships that feel like a high-risk investment with uncertain returns.
I find it so funny to hear women say that men are intimidated by them, and that's why they're single, because men can't handle their success. It's usually the women that have that boss mentality, but sorry to break it to you, men are not intimidated by you. Your personality probably sucks, or you're probably not a pleasant person to be around. And it's kind of funny because it's not just like men are not attracted to these type of women. Other women don't really even want to be these type of women's friends. So no, men are not intimidated. Maybe you're just not a good person.
I agree.
Men with provider mindset don't do coffee date. When a man asks you out for a coffee, he's giving you bare minimum. He's essentially asking you to prove yourself to him before he takes you out for a meal? And here's the thing, when you go out on a date with a man, you're going to spend some time doing your makeup, your hair to look presentable, right? But man can only just put on a shirt and shower and come out. And trust me, men know that. Men that ask you out for a coffee are not providers and they're not risk takers, so stay away from that.
I think what she meant to say is that women who aren't in it for the gold-digging mindset won't be overly critical of the date. I mean, let's be honest, any woman expecting a guy to take her to a fancy restaurant on the first date probably isn't interested in him, but in what he can provide. These women are what I like to call roster warriors. They have a whole lineup of guys, each for a different purpose, and a man's value to them is more about what he brings to the table than who he actually is. So why should a man be thinking about shelling out for an expensive meal just to get to know a woman? In these situations, he's simply trying to see if there's genuine potential, without having to commit a ton of time or money up front.
I'm all about being in your feminine energy and having a man do proper courtship, but if there's one hill I will die on, it is that you, as a woman, should make the first move. Men are incredibly afraid of rejection, and even the most confident men can get really shy, especially when they're dealing with a beautiful, confident woman who has a lot of options, or looks like she does. Ask any man and he'll tell you he wishes that more women made the first move. Chances are he's never had it happen to him. And ladies, I promise you will have a 99.99% success rate. And if for some reason you don't, who cares? Just do it for the plot, and rejection's redirection anyway. So this is your sign. Don't overthink it. This book will help. Talk to your crush and have fun. I love you, and follow for more tips.
How to get guys to approach you at the bar, because listen, it is so much more about your energy and your vibe that you're putting out than it is about how attractive you are. You could be the hottest person in the room, but if you aren't putting out the right vibes, nobody's going to come up to you. First of all, don't be on your phone. There is nothing less approachable than someone just sitting texting on their phone. Like when I don't want people to talk to me in a situation, I immediately go on my phone and pretend to be doing something, looking down, hunching over, giving off like stay away from me energy. Next is make eye contact. So if you have a specific person that you want to approach you and you're out, you're at a bar, you're at a party, we all kind of know like, oh, give them a little look and like a smile. That's great. You can't just do it once. If you just look at someone one time, they're probably going to think it was like an accident. Usually it takes a normal average person a few different signs to actually get them ready, confident enough to come and walk over to you. So what you can do is like give them a look. A couple of minutes later, give them another look, maybe smile if they look at you back. Don't stare at someone, but give them enough encouragement in order to come over. My rule is like 2 or 3 looks and a smile usually does it. My last tip is like put yourself in a place of opportunity. So if you're a girl and you're at a bar and they're playing sports, likely the men are going to be in front of the TV. So if you're going to the bar and there's a TV in front of one area of the bar and there's no TV in front of the other areas, go to the area in front of the TV. You are guaranteed to be standing next to some sort of a guy. If there is someone in particular that you want to approach, kind of make your way over to them. It is a lot easier to strike up a conversation with someone when they are standing right next to you than if they are across the room. Make your way over to them, stand next to them, order a drink, and then like smile at them. Kind of bump into them by accident. Be like, oh, sorry, or whatever. That's a great way to slide in, by the way. If you like accidentally knock someone a little bit and you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Easy.
If women really understood just how easy men are, there wouldn't be this endless stream of tips and tricks teaching them how to approach guys. The truth is, men are generally pretty straightforward. Most of us appreciate directness. We're not focused on the how of the approach, but more on whether you're genuine. A simple smile, a compliment, or even just striking up a casual conversation can go a long way. Men don't need theatrics or carefully calculated strategies to feel interested or flattered. If anything, the real advice should be about how to approach women, because they're the complicated ones. Women often have layers of expectations, unspoken rules, and emotional nuances that make approaching them a far more delicate process. Men are expected to read the room, pick up on subtle cues, and navigate the possibility of rejection, all while trying to appear confident and charming. But when it comes to women approaching men...
Okay, ladies, take notes. This is how you dominate a beta husband. Okay, ready? Read his shirt. I don't need Google. My wife knows everything. Dominating.
I put the shirt on. Listen, I put the shirt on so I get laid. That's it.
How to get a hot guy to fall for you. Before I tell you how, let's talk about the 2 types of hot guys that exist. Hot guy number 1 is the type of guy who gets a lot of attention from girls. And this guy usually knows he's hot. Then we have hot guy number 2. This is the guy who's so good looking that most girls are afraid to approach him, so he actually doesn't get a lot of attention. And depending on the hot guy you're interested in, you have to approach him differently. If it's hot guy number 1, don't flatter him, because he's so used to the attention that it's just gonna make you look like the rest. So instead, be coy, be flirty, and let him chase you. However, if it's hot guy number 2, you need to approach him from an intellectual level. Because remember, this guy's not used to getting a lot of attention, so if you come on too strong, he's probably not gonna trust you.
People say that girls are so delusional, but guys are equally as delusional, if not more than us. Girls are delusional in the sense that, like, we don't really listen to when guys tell us things that they really mean. For instance, if I'm seeing a guy and he's like, I'm not looking for anything serious, I'm like, until you met me, and he's like, yeah, no, I met you, and that's why I'm not looking for anything serious. But us women are always like, no, like, it's definitely more than just casual, even though he said it 3 times. Like, we'll hear what they say. They're not looking for something serious. They're looking for something casual. They're not that into us. They're this, that, this. They're not over their ex. And we're like, we'll see about that. And it's like, we should really be taking what they're saying off first initial base, okay? Because that's where our delusions come in. But guys are delusional in a different way, if not worse way. Guys have like the confidence of 1,000 suns, okay? Their egos are bigger than their yes, because they think like there's always something better. So for instance, some of my guy friends are like, I'm not looking for a relationship because I know that there's better out there, and like I'm gonna get with so many women soon. And I'm like, okay, but we are in Walmart, so can you just like pretend to like be with the girl that you brought with you in aisle 6? Like, they think that they are literally gonna be able to do anal in the freezer section, and they think that they got it like that. They think they got Riz like that. So they're delusional more in like what could be type of thing, versus women are more like, this is the situation. He said he wants nothing to do with me, but I think it was a typo.
You guys can definitely be delusional, no doubt about it. But women, sometimes they don't even live in reality. See, guys might be delusional about what can happen right now. They're focused on the moment. But women, on the other hand, are delusional about what can happen in the future. When a player tells a woman he's not looking for anything serious, in her mind, it sounds like a challenge. She thinks, oh, he just hasn't met the right woman yet, and sets out to prove that she's the one who can change him. The problem is, she's completely ignoring what he's already told her. He's been clear about his intentions or lack thereof, but she refuses to take it at face value. Instead, she invests all her time, energy, and emotions into trying to mold him into the partner she wants him to be, thinking her effort will somehow make him a better man. And what ends up happening? She gets heartbroken, and in the process, develops this bitterness toward all men.
One is don't be afraid to go up to a guy. I went up to him.
Wait, what?
Yeah, don't be afraid to go up to a guy. If you think someone's cute, do it. Like, the worst they're gonna do is say no, and then what? There's like 10 other guys at the same frat party that will say yes. Like, do it. Absolutely. I'd say that.
How does that make you feel, bro?
Really good. Yeah.
Did you think it was weird that a girl was coming up to you or no?
Not really.
So you liked it?
Yeah.
Who asked for the first date though?
He did.
Yeah, I did.
So you're still a man. Who paid for the first date?
He did.
Okay, do you think a man should pay for the first date?
Yeah.
Girls that are watching this, okay, they want to find their man. They want to find the right guy, but they're so afraid of opening up and communicating with these girls. What would you tell them?
Huge props to this woman right here for making the first move and approaching. If more women did this, they'd have a way higher success rate of landing the man they want. Studies show that women who take the initiative actually have an 86% chance of getting married. Yes, you heard that right. That statistic is a clear testament to how much men appreciate genuine interest and confidence in a woman.
All I want this summer is a man that has a job, works out, is a foodie, but also likes to have fun, lives a balanced lifestyle. So he works out and he does his job and he grinds, but he also likes to go out on the weekends. He likes to party. He likes to travel. He would, on a Thursday, stay in and we could order food or make food together and just relax, watch Netflix, do absolutely nothing but hang out with each other. But then the following weekend, we go out, we party, we have fun. He randomly texts me on a Tuesday and he says, get changed, be ready by 8 because I have a date planned for us. I made the reservation and everything and I'll be picking you up right at 8. So be ready outside your apartment. Where is that man? Because I've been looking for a man for that for this summer and I can't find them. And there's a lot of men in New York, okay? And I can't find him. But I also want him to look at me every single day and think that he won the lottery with me. So let's add that in there.
This woman has a whole laundry list of expectations. But the problem is there's nothing on that list that she's actually giving back in return. It's all about what she wants, but not what she's willing to offer. The key thing she said was, I'm looking for a man for this summer, which basically translates to she's here for a good time, not a long time. And honestly, I think the type of man she's describing is more of a fictional character, a man straight out of her imagination, not someone who actually exists in reality.